Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Brian Taulton, and I proudly serve as the Coldspring-Oakhurst CISD Superintendent of Schools. I'm joined this afternoon by Mr. Adam Yankee, the Coldspring-Oakhurst CISD CFO, just really to provide some bond updates about our bond election for Saturday, May the 2nd. Information about the bond election. Of course, we began working with the Facilities Assessment Committee back in September of 2023. And from that committee, a recommendation was made to the Board of Trustees of a $50 million bond proposal. A big portion of that bond proposal is centered around a brand new intermediate campus. It's going to be where the current Jones campus is. It's going to house students in grades 3 through 6. And then also some needed improvements and renovations at other facilities across the district, including the junior high campus and the high school as well. What I'll do now is just really provide a quick update. So I'll just kind of read some of the facts. Of course, we have to, obviously, as district officials, just really provide information. Educationally, we can't advocate or we only can educate. We can't coerce. But really our goal is to make sure all of our voters are educated and well informed as to what the bond proposition consists of. And at the intermediate campus, again, it includes 3rd through 6th grade classrooms, PE gym and seating area, also, and then also a separate bus loop for parents at that campus as well. And really want to make sure that our voters are aware that with the bond proposal, it is for a brand new intermediate campus. So there will be nothing that will be left over from the current site. It will be a total demolition and a brand new build at that campus. At the junior high campus, it will be primarily renovations to the main building. That's our oldest portion of the building. And then also you will have a portico out front and also an additional awning on the front of the building to give it a little bit of a facelift at that campus, at the junior high campus. And at the high school campus, be some doors, some restroom upgrades, some finishes in the restrooms. I'll turn it over to Adam to share a little bit.
Talking through the facilities, when the facilities committee came back with a recommendation, part of their considerations was that as the facilities have aged, and most of these facilities are in the vicinity of 40 to 50 plus years old at this point in time, we have aging infrastructure and we have repeated repairs that we're having to address throughout these buildings. The transition from the existing elementary, moving that to the current intermediate campus, and then current intermediate moving over to the potential new construction site at Jones was twofold. One, put us in a newer facility that also will receive renovations. So the current intermediate would transition to elementary and have K through 2 on that campus, or pre-K through 2, with an expansion of our pre-K building as well. And then when we renovate the interior of that for both original finishes and fixtures that are from there from 1985, 1986. And then we also transition the 3 through 5 grades over from the intermediate to a new intermediate campus at the Jones complex. That's a 69,000 square foot building with an 11,000 square foot gym, PE gym complex that's attached to it as well. And we bring the 6th grade off of the junior high. That takes some of the pressure as far as capacity off of the junior high campus at that point in time and puts those students over there for a consolidation of that campus. That has sufficient capacity to address the demands of 4 grade levels at that point in time. And that takes our available facilities, which are renovated at the junior high. Again, we're looking at aging infrastructure, fixture replacement, and finish upgrades there as well to address some of the concerns that we've encountered. When we look beyond that and we look over to the high school campus, that's interior renovations. Some of that is security related due to the nature of security responsibilities that school districts have at this point. Some of it is infrastructure upgrade and fixtures and furnishing upgrades as well on that campus. And that goes back to the original construction, so 1999, and some of those areas that are starting to show their age and replacement or high maintenance cycles at this point in time. The alternative elements that are out there, there are district improvements that look beyond just those instructional campuses. So you've got some communication upgrades that have to be done. There are a few elements related to seating and ADA accessibility for our athletic facilities that we're addressing as well. The proposal that's being presented primarily at the high school campus, but also on a lesser extent at the junior high campus as well, regarding seating capacity on those sites as well. When we come back around to a district-wide element that is of consideration, that's incorporated into the gym bond proposition. That's also for the replacement or purchase of 6 new school buses as part of our replacement cycle for COISD transportation. And the intent behind that is to be able to facilitate an exchange of our buses, because the current general operating budget, though it typically is attempted to budget for replacement cycle on an annual basis, due to budgetary limitations, that doesn't always happen. This would address repeated deferred maintenance or deferred replacement cycles associated with our transportation fleet and modernize it at that point in time. When we look at it, we talk about what those costs look like associated with it. There's a mailer that's gone out to everyone, and then there's also cards and signage available as well. That intermediate campus, the new intermediate, so what you're going to have for the 3 through 6th grade campus, plus that gymnasium's estimated to be about $36 million. That is for complete demolition of that entire existing site, and then ground up construction inclusive of parking, the instructional campus facility, and the gymnasium for that campus to be able to accommodate 4 grades over there. There's about $4.2 million that's been allocated for renovations and improvements associated with the junior high campus. Primary emphasis is on the renovations of that main instructional building in the front, both exterior and interior renovations to modernize it. We go over to the elementary campus, which is the current intermediate campus. That's to address that. That's about $3.7 million. That again largely addresses the finishes and replacements within the internal facility itself from the original infrastructure that was placed there, as well as the addition of additional classrooms for the pre-K facility to accommodate the demands of that program. High school campus actually only has about $1.8 million invested in it. Most of that is for upgrades, some of that related to security and then accessibility and code compliance. There was a substantial investment in the high school campus with the prior bond election that happened in 2018. And then we look at those other district-wide improvements that can address some of the accessibility to our sports complexes, and then some of the other elements. That comes out to be about $1.7 million. That also encompasses some of our district-wide security upgrades that aren't attributable to just one single campus. When we circle around, we've got the outdoor facilities, that's district-wide, that's the final $1.6 million, and then the transportation fleet. A school bus cost us about $151,000 each. When we look at 6 of them, we're just shy, we're somewhere between $900,000 and $1 million is what 6 school buses currently cost the school district to replace. The cost of that is largely driven by the required upgrades that we have associated by state mandate for school buses in this day and time, for them being equipped with seat belts and other elements that are common for the school safety requirements and the safe elements of the buses, and then the convenience elements and comfort of getting students to and from there. When we look at what that does to our tax rate, and I'll hit on it briefly, and then Dr. Taulton can kind of close out on this. The tax rate, we're looking at 2 distinct tax rates. One, we have the maintenance and operations budget. That's what we operate day to day. That is for salaries, that is for lights, that is for diesel, that is for tires on buses, that is for paper, that is for computers. What the bond proposal is talking about is an interest in sinking. That can only be used effectively for 2 purposes. One is for capital purchases like buses, or it can be used for capital facilities, either improvements or new construction, and that's exactly what it is. It cannot be used to pay teachers. It cannot be used to pay for routine consumable items. So the bond proposal is oriented solely towards the increase of a tax rate associated to pay for capital purchases and capital facilities. That total impact, where we anticipate that transition, would be about 16 cents. That 16 cents is relative to what may come out of the appraisal values associated with it. There are other factors to take into consideration. One being is with the homestead exemption and then the state offsetting that, we see a continual increase of the homestead exemption. It's currently $140,000 for anyone that has a homestead exemption in CISD. And that's actually statewide at this point in time. So if you have a house valued at $140,000 or less, There are actually no school taxes associated with it currently. The other element that we would discuss there is if you're over 65, we have two factors. One being that you have a $200,000 homestead exemption associated with your house. And the final element being is that if you're over 65 and have that exemption filed for your homestead, your taxes are frozen at that point. So you don't see an impact from school taxes associated with any increase to the tax rate or appraisal values for that over 65 homestead exemption filed at that point in time. When we look through it and we talk through it, the average home for our school district is currently about $250,000. With that homestead exemption, you're actually being taxed on about $110,000. The INS tax rate in total is actually going to be about $258 per year. That is inclusive of the current tax rate plus that 16-cent increase is what we're looking at there. That comes out to be about $22 per month when you calculate it out over an annual basis. CISD's current tax rate for the INS rate is about 7 cents, and our current operational tax rate is 63 cents. So we're just under 71 cents. With the proposed increase to the tax rate with this bond proposal, we'd be at 86 cents. That still puts us in the lower spectrum of most of our surrounding districts. That's reflected in our bond informational presentations that we've sent out, and it's accessible through all of our resources, electronic and media. Dr. Taulton, you want to talk a little bit about election dates and make sure we convey that?
Absolutely. Thank you, Ms. Yankee. Just really some important dates. Of course, we do have early voting that begins on April 20th. That also concludes on April 28th. Of course, the official election day is Saturday, May 2nd. So I'll just kind of note our voting locations. Box number 1 is really the San Jacinto County Elections Administration Building, right at 51 East Pine Avenue, right here in Cold Spring. And then box number 3 is Evergreen Community Center, that's 7550 State Highway 150, also in Cold Spring. Box number 5 is Bear Creek Volunteer Fire Department, 11550 at FM 1725, that's in Cleveland, Texas. And then also box number 7 is in Point Blank, precinct number 4 Annex, that's 221 Boat Launch Road in Point Blank, Texas. And box number 8 is the Oakhurst Fire Department at 990 US Highway 190 in Oakhurst, Texas as well. And like I said, with the bond proposal, the primary objective was to no longer have students at James Sherrill mentioned that was one big focal point for the committee. And then just want to highlight and really share, just want to thank everybody that served on that committee, thank all our stakeholders for their support. And right now with the bond proposal, the goal is to address current needs, also and then future needs as well. So just want to make sure that all of our stakeholders are well informed what the bond is, what the bond is not. But then also we do have information available via our website, our Facebook page. And if there's anybody out there that would like us to come out and speak, myself and Adam, between now and election day, we're more than happy to do that. They can just contact us at the district office. We'll be happy to visit with them and come out to the community and speak about the bond proposal. So thank you.